Hello, and welcome to Empowerment Radio. I'm Adrienne Elise. This episode is called Gaining Momentum, and it's about when we feel stuck and how do we find that feeling of moving forward again. So when we talk about being stuck, we can qualify that and talk about whether we are feeling stuck emotionally or spiritually or physically, and how we can get unstuck. Because the truth of the matter is that the universe that we live in is ever expanding. And we know, we can sense, we can feel that we're in this process of evolutionary growth where even, later one day or the next day, you can feel like a different person because of something that you've experienced or realized or had happened to you. We're always evolving. So it's kind of interesting because when you really think about it, the feeling of stuck is it must be a total illusion. Things are happening so fast in our spiritual evolution right now. So we are gaining a momentum. So what maybe our stuckness could have to do with where we're not willing or ready to step on that evolutionary path, to expand. So in this episode today of Empowerment Radio, we are going to address these issues and why is it sometimes so hard to move forward in life? Whether it's getting your chores done or getting your moving forward on your business plan, it can just feel like sometimes it's just so hard to get things to happen that you want to see happen. So we're going to talk today about where this block ultimately comes from. What is the belief system deep underneath the block that you're addressing right now? And tools to be able to take those steps forward and feel like you're really making progress in your life. And a lot of times it only takes one step to kind of move out of that stuckness. Sometimes the stuck energy can just be so empowering, overpowering, and yet we know it's an illusion, and yet we continue to play the game and to stay stuck. So it appears that with this ever-expanding universe, there is action happening. This is our duality, expression of duality. In this world, we have things always moving, always expanding, and then we have inaction. So at the point of the center of the manifested reality of 3D reality is one place that is outside of duality, one place that is still. So manifested reality is in duality consciousness, meaning we have male and the female, and these are always interacting, always moving, always expanding. And yet there is always also one point that has no polarity. This is like the point of conception. So we're going to be working with this still point as a way to combat the stuckness, to be able to move forward. And so if we understand that there's a world of action and there's a world of inaction, and it's kind of like if you're going to be in the world of inaction, like you can't move anywhere, but you're still allowing your mind to run in circle and thoughts and upon thoughts and kind of like, how do I do this, what do I do, and yet you're still not taking action, then you're trying to bring the world of action into the world of inaction. Okay? And really the magic here that's available to us in gaining momentum is to take the inaction, the deep still point, and bring that into the world of action. So the first step, the first advice, the first message here around when you feel stuck is to go into still point. If you feel like you cannot move at all in your life, and either if this is physically, mentally, emotionally, or on your projects or in your relationships, the first thing to do is to take some time in still point as much as you can. It's really hard when the voices in your head are just spinning around and you're just going to go over and over the problems with no solutions. And so bring yourself just for a moment right here, right now. We're going to just practice this most powerful tool, exercise our ability and our right to be in still point. So just take a minute right here, right now, coming into the very center of you. Just knowing that there is a spark of you that existed in oneness, in wholeness, in completion. And we're going to just visit that part of you right now, the part of you that's outside of duality. We're just moving into still point. So if you're really in still point, there might be thoughts going on out there in your mind, but you don't even know. You're just right there in the white light. Everything else is going on around you. It's not about stopping your thoughts. It's about putting your attention on the place of true inaction, okay? And allowing this still point, this part of yourself, this presence, to become available. So this is our most important tool when we're looking for momentum, ironically, is still point, to be able to come into that moment. So we're going to just keep visiting this throughout this podcast today as a way to exercise this really powerful tool. So some other things that can really help when we're feeling stuck, when we're feeling like the other way to look at it is like, okay, I'm in the world of action, but I feel stuck. So, there's a part of me that's just swirling around in the eddy, and that's okay, because that's just what we do sometimes. But really great way, very simple tool to feel like you're moving in life is to actually just move your body. Exercise, moving around, rearranging your furniture, cleaning up your house, working on old projects that you've kind of stuck in the corner. That all creates stagnant energy. And when you're feeling stuck, like you can't make decisions, you don't know where you're going, you're feeling like you're just, going backwards or treading water in life, finding some old project you left in the corner, or cleaning out your garage, or, cleaning out the cupboards, something like that can be really incredibly helpful, because what you're doing is you are matching the world of action. You're saying, okay, I'm in the world of action and I feel stuck, so I am just going to take some action. So we're looking in this topic, this goal of gaining momentum, at inner versus outer movement. So when sometimes our outer movement in the world is not happening. There's nothing to show the work that we've been doing. And, so sometimes we have these periods of time where the work that we're doing, our evolution is deep within our own being, and it's nothing that's that visible on the outside. So this is a law of the universe, that first things change energetically, then they change physically. Okay, because physical matter is more dense than energy. And so a lot of times it will be a while before the manifested change. It's like you can have a change right here, right now in your psyche. And say, oh my gosh, I see the truth. I no longer believe that way that I believed before. But it will take a while for the manifested world to catch up with you. And that's a lot of times where we falter, where we come up against these subconscious belief systems that we don't understand, we don't see, they're hidden, but they're ruling our life. So it's interesting to look at this feeling of feeling stuck, or like you're not moving, or you're not creating, or you're not doing what you're here to do on the planet. All of these feelings that come along with this energy. we have to understand that the physical world, those changes are going to take a while. And while those changes are trying to happen, that's when we start to understand, unravel, and shift our vibrational field, discover these belief systems. So what are we talking about, belief systems here? What are we talking about? If we're feeling stuck in our life, we want to gain momentum, we want to feel like we're on our path, feel like we're making some stuff happen, we're doing what we're here to do, being a creator on planet Earth, a co-creator with the cosmos. We really want to feel that feeling. We want to feel and see that change. And but behind that feeling of having that life, if you really let yourself kind of get into the vibration of that right now, and get into the vibration of like, ooh, I've got this life and it's like so exciting. I love waking up in the morning, do what I'm here to do. I've accomplished something. I feel like I'm bringing my gifts to the planet. I feel like I'm doing what I'm here to do, bringing my light. Really letting yourself vibrationally tune into that energy and noticing if there's any part of you or what lights up in your physical body, pain, sensation. What do you notice around blocks or holding back energy? So we all have some deep subconscious conditioning and belief systems that are keeping us from really actualizing in this life. And pretty much under this issue of feeling like you're moving forward, gaining momentum, being a part of a co-creator, is this like, do you really get to do that? Is that really for you? I mean, maybe it's okay for anyone else to go out there and live their dream, but are you sure? Aren't you supposed to suffer a little more or sacrifice or, give your power away to other people? Okay, so deep underneath this energy of not being able to feel like you're moving forward in life is a feeling like you're not good enough or you don't deserve. Okay, so there's a lot of energy here, very powerful social conditioning and programming, almost like this outside authority that has control over us, that gets to decide whether or not we get to actualize, whether or not we get to do what we came here to do on planet Earth. So we can't really talk about this belief system and conditioning unless we really look at the path of the indigo soul. So the indigo soul groups and the star seeds, the crystal seeds as well, often come into this earth evolution and with a very bright light. And that bright light, that light worker energy, that way changer, that bringing in the consciousness is highly targeted by the forces of domination and control. So it's like the souls with the most light have the most kind of strange, distorted belief systems around whether or not they deserve or if they get to have their power to themselves, because they've been targeted lifetime after lifetime. And so these indigo way changers, light bringers, light workers have some distorted belief systems where they've gotten, one of the stories that happens to just kind of show this. It's like maybe one lifetime where they were targeted, something happened because of the light that they were bringing to the planet, and they decided that they weren't safe, in survival or just getting along in society. And so the way that they chose to be safe in future lifetimes was actually to become a part of the organization that was abusive or attacking on them. So it's like they'll have lifetimes where they were in the church as a way to hide from the church, kind of thing. That's just an example of how this could play out. But the indigo souls basically have some deep conflict in their being about whether or not they deserve to be who they really are. Now, this is a problem because the earth, where it's at right now in the human evolution, really needs these light workers. It's like really time. And so these light workers, a lot of times these indigo souls are walking around feeling shameful or bad about who they are. and not feeling like it's okay for them to actualize. There's programming that says that they'll get killed, they'll get other people killed, they'll start a war. This has all just been programming over many lifetimes for indigo souls to try to keep them from their light. And it's crazy because when I look at it in intuitive sessions and I see this bright, powerful, healing energy, compassion and love and empathy, and then there's this overlay of shame. Like, oh no, you don't. Like you might be bright and beautiful and powerful, but you don't actually get to have those things. We're in control of that. So there's contractual arrangements across the board on indigo souls that say, yeah, you're not gonna be who you really are. You're not gonna shine that light. We've programmed you with all kinds of fears, and so you need to hide that. So then you go and you incarnate into this lifetime where it's time for us to bring the light to the planet. You're all gung-ho, you're ready to go. You've done all of your work to be here in this planet at this time and super excited to come into this incarnation. And then it's coming up against like a brick wall with all this conditioning and programming. So the indigo souls are facing a big challenge because they are trying to clear lifetimes of karma in this one lifetime in time to be able to shine their light and have permission, be who they really are. It's hard to be a way changer. These indigo souls are the first wave of star seeds in this human evolution, bringing massive leaps in consciousness and technology. It's difficult to be a way changer. You have to carve a path. And so then put on top of it all this overlay of programming around, oh no, you don't get to do that. And over fear of death. So we're looking at root chakra issues here with this programming. Do you deserve the life that you dream of? Do you deserve to use your skills in the way you want in this lifetime? And is it okay for you to even be on the planet as who you really are? Okay, so your root chakra is what gives you permission to connect in with Mother Earth and connect in to being in present time right here on planet Earth. So let's go ahead and exercise our opportunity, our permission to come into communication with Mother Earth. It's really important to really find that still point. You first need to be able to feel grounded or connected. And a lot of indigo souls are kind of floating above the ground because they've got all this programming around their root chakra that it's not safe for them to be here in their true light. And yet there's this deep desire within them to evolve into the light that they are, to bring forward their gifts and be of service to the planet. And yet they don't think they deserve to be on the planet, to have what they need to feel safe. So this is a lot of issues that have played out in the early childhood and past lives of these indigo souls. So go ahead right now, receive an energetic wave for a root chakra reprogramming. And let's just go ahead and feel yourself arrive right here, right now. Putting down root systems. Just imagine the base of your spine and it's pointing down towards the earth and it's just reaching down with roots. And it's reaching down into the waters of Mother Earth. And your root system with communication with Mother Earth becomes a two-way communication. You're gaining energy with the earth. You're feeling that deep, grounded empowerment. And you are giving to the earth as well. And just go ahead and listen to Mother Earth for a minute as you feel the whole lower part of your body release and relax. This is called a grounding cord, putting down roots, the very first, most important tool of being an intuitive. Just feel yourself arrive. And check out your root chakra. Is there any foreign energy? Is there any cords there to people, other people, or off-planet energies, or these contractual stuff? Go ahead and receive an energy wave for healing, just cutting away anything that's keeping you from feeling like it's okay for you to be you on planet Earth right here, right now. And I'll tell you, there is a line up of souls that want to come to planet Earth. You got to come. It doesn't mean you get to come halfway. A tree doesn't like grow, start growing and, as an oak tree and then decide it's a maple tree. So your right to exist is inherent in the fact that you are on the planet on Earth right here, right now. Okay, so it's time for the indigo souls to go ahead and receive this root chakra healing, receive this reconnection, this feeling safe and at home, loved and cared for in the light that you are. So this is the programming and belief systems underneath the lack of momentum in your life. Just go ahead and just receive an energetic healing from your highest guidance to wash away all of the beliefs and contractual arrangements and cords of energy that are keeping you from feeling grounded and safe to be who you really are on planet Earth. And then just feel with that connection to Mother Earth how much easier it is to step into still point. Just stepping into the center of you. That point before conception or at conception, before you came into duality consciousness, manifested reality, there's a part of you that's whole and complete with the cosmos. And you can tap into that part of yourself through this still point, available to you whenever you need it. So you're feeling stuck in your life. You'd like to see more change, more manifested examples of all of the energy work that you've done. And so you've done all the energy work, but the manifested things aren't coming up yet. And this is because you're battling with these deep subconscious beliefs. And so we talked about the energy of finding movement in your life or finding still point. Just choosing one or the other. If you're going to be in action, then go to still point and be really in that place of center. If you're going to be in action, but you're stuck and you can't even move, this is kind of what happens to me. Sometimes I feel like a deer in the headlights. It's like, well, I have a list of all these things that I want to get accomplished, but I can't quite get myself to decide which one to go on, and so this is an interesting part of gaining momentum. If you have a sense of what's really important to you, working through your value system, then you can better make decisions. So one of the great things that you can do if you're feeling stuck in your life is to reevaluate what really matters to you, to go back to the base energy of what drives you, what you want to see in the world, and how you want to make that happen. And that's really going to help your ability to move forward. This is where coaching comes in. So the purpose of having a life coach is to be assisted and supported in creating real, manifested, real life change in your life. So we've got the energy part of it, we've got the actual action steps happening, and you feeling like you're on your path. This is what a life coach can do for you. So the life coach is that other person and hear your story, help you see your blocks, help you intuitively release those blocks. Figure out what the astrological energy is saying to you right now. This is a really important time of gaining concept around gaining momentum is right timing. So many times in my life I felt stuck, just I'm coming up against the edge, and I'm so attached to the feeling of getting somewhere that I will leap forward in the direction that isn't quite right because I'm not in right timing. So this is This can definitely be helped by timeline work. When you work through those old karmic stories and you get the intuitive support to release that conditioning and belief system, then you can get on your most appropriate timeline and you can start to feel out when the energy is right. Now that's where the astrology part of it comes in. When you're tuning in to the current astrology and how that's affecting your chart, then you can sit tight and know when is a good time to act, when is a good time to sit, when is a good time that a lot of times when we're not acting, we're waiting for the right information, or we're waiting for the right timing, or we're processing through those deep subconscious belief systems. But what a coach can do is it's that other person. This is like, we cannot do this for ourselves. They can hear your story and be there for you. It's like, yes, this person has got your back, and they can help you be accountable with kind of like, okay, what is the plan going forward? This is the homework. Between this session, next session, go ahead and see what happens, get this done. And what's going to happen is the process is going to evolve, the process is going to shift. But by having that spiritual support, intuitive guidance, and accountability, and you have got this magical mixture of support for you to create real life change. And if you're on this call right now, then you are a way changer, and that you have to understand this, that your deep desire to create change in your life and help other people create change and create change on the planet is exactly why it's so hard to do. So way changers have a specific set of conditioning, past life stories, and these beliefs around whether or not you deserve to be on the planet. Do you deserve to be in your body? Do you deserve to have the light that you are? So when you are feeling, say you're going and you're taking some steps forward, you're getting the support you need to find these stuck places and start moving into the world of momentum. Now, energy is created. The free energy devices, like where we're moving into the future, the truth of energy in this universe is created through momentum. Okay, movement. It's ongoing movement that creates energy. So when you are supported and you're feeling, even if it's tiny little steps, it doesn't matter. You're making steps. You're feeling that forward motion. You have action in the world of action, and you're matched up, and you are feeling that inner and outer movement. The effect that you have, just imagine a person who's doing this, who just feels like, what do they look like walking down the street? They've got pep in their step. They have an energy of vitality in their field. So this is one of the most potent and powerful things you can do, is to claim your momentum. Because your momentum inspires and empowers other people's momentum. And so if you're struggling to find that deep permission inside because of all this conditioning to really live that true path, just know that this path is a path that inspires other people. And that ultimately the goal of all of this work, of this incarnation of everything, is to expand and our consciousness and embody the light. It's not necessarily anything specific we need to accomplish out there. But the feeling of moving and being a part of the flow of consciousness, rather than stuck over in the eddy or in the swamp or in the quicksand, is a completely different way. When in the eddy, in the quicksand, there's stuck energy. There's like, I'm in the world of movement, I'm in the world of expanding consciousness, but I can't get on that train. that is a place where emotions are getting stuck. See, once you kind of start getting in the stuck mode, it's easier to get more and more stuck. And so the emotions get stuck and the action isn't happening in your life and the spiritual, and then there's stagnancy. You don't feel like exercising. You don't have that pep in your step. You don't have that vitality. And so then it's an unhealthy pattern and creates disease in the body. And so this is the most simple but most beautiful and amazing gift you can give to yourself and to other people, is to step on that path of gaining momentum, to live and breathe and be the living example of that higher, better, activated life. So thank you so much for joining me for this Empowerment Radio podcast on gaining momentum. I hope you'll consider finding out more about empowerment coaching. I'm Adrienne Elise. Until next time.